This one's got an odd name. This is Fujio Ichikawa's MRS on BGP. What that means is that's move, rotate, scale on a background plane. So let's go over here. Actually, I need some geometry. So let's load up this dial object, and let's put something in the background. Let's put let's try a ball. A less dense ball. So we've got this ball in the background, and we've got this dial object. Which actually the dial's way down there. Let me move my ball. There we go. Okay, so now let's say I want to put this dial object, so basically a cone with a little nose, onto one of these polys. There's plugins that'll do that, but it just slaps it straight onto the poly and you can't edit it. So let's say I want to do this poly. Here's how this one works. If I want to do this poly, I've got to hide everything else so that I can just see that polygon, and then flip the visibility and run the plugin, and you can see it's now on that face. Let me scale it down a bit. You can see with these handles I can actually scale it. You can see now it's on that face. And you saw if you just click it, I'm not using any keyboard commands. If you just click this square, you can move, and it moves it in relation to this plane. So I'm moving it that way. I can move it this way. If I hold control down and grab that tip, it scales it that way, or I can scale it this way. This here moves it along the surface normal. Everyone should have been at my surface normal demo so they know what that is. So here, I can move it along the surface normal by grabbing this little thing here. If I hold control and move it, it's actually going to scale it along the normal. Like that. And there's another little circle here that lets me rotate it. So I can rotate it, and it's all in relation to this plane and its normal that it's coming out of. Let me actually undo that. If I select this, you can see that little line there. That's the surface normal. For anyone who wasn't at my meeting, my demo. So that's how that one works. You got to make sure though that you have it just the one poly, because if you have all of your polys, you don't know which one it's going to pick. It picked that one down there because that's probably the first poly in the mesh, so it picked that one.
Even if you had a poly selected, it would...
when you change layers, you lose your selection.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So it's like there's my selection and it's gone if I go back to it. So that's why to confirm, yes, I want that polygon. And you have to make sure that your mesh is above the Y. So that because if I flip it, let me actually flip it and I'll show you. If I flip it like that, wrong plugin. Come over here. Now it's on the other side of the face. Let me scale this down a bit. This is the back side of the face. You can't see it. Actually, where'd it go? Should be there somewhere. Oh, somehow it still knew what I would. No, it did, I don't know where it put it. It just decided I'm going to put it somewhere. I think it actually put it on one of its own faces, is what it did. Okay, so there's our background. Now let's try it again. Oh, there we go. So now it's on the face, but it did it inside out. Oh, we can't see the which side it is. It's confirm, and then if we go here, oh, it looks like Oh, I did it. I didn't flip my object upside down. That's why. I undid too far. Now, so you have to imagine the normal of this polygon here is going this way. So if I have my mesh here, it's going to put it on the inside. Yeah. See, now if I unhide my ball, you can see it's on the inside of the ball. There's actually another plugin that actually kind of has to do with this one. Let's say, okay, now I've got this moved onto my normal. Let's say I wanted to change it. It won't work, I don't think, because it's not aligned to the ground anymore. Oh. So now it's going to align the other ground to that. So whatever is right here, that's how it aligns it. So if I wanted to change this again, what I have to do is select that polygon and use move to its phase, move to origin. And it's, you see, because I had that poly selected, it's going to move this polygon to the origin when I click it. So now you can see it moved it. The only problem is it moves it upside down. Because, well, if you look at the normal, it actually just aligns the normal. So if I actually, that's, if I rotate it back that way, that should be, that's close enough. If I use this one, let's confirm that. So everybody remembers it was up above the Y. And then let's select this poly and move it back. Now it's upside down. The solution to that, it's got a solution. Select your poly, flip it, and then run the plugin. And then when it puts it back, it'll be the way it was before. And then just flip your face back, your polygon back to the way it was, and it's back to onto the origin. And then you can put it onto a different polygon or make a rotation change or anything else you wanted to. So that's 2 of his plugins. He's got a lot of them. You should check them out. I think they are all free. So,
is there a numeric requester with that?
You know what? Let's find out. Yes. How big it moves when you're actually moving it. How big those steps are. So if I make this really big, that's not really big, but you can see it's going to move in bigger increments. I can move it numerically, although, oh yeah, when you do the, this isn't interactive. See, I'm sliding it, it's not doing anything. You have to hit apply. But it doesn't completely drop the tool and apply the change. It just applies this adjustment. So if I change this down, hit apply, it made that change, but I can still go in, make other changes. So like that. And you see when I rotate it, it keeps that scale, the original scaling, so it's real narrow now. And it rotates it with that scale. It doesn't change. It doesn't change the way it's scaled when you rotate it. So, you got axis constraints. The side.
So then, if you move it, you can return back to the starting position of the.
Yeah, if you zero the, if you get it, you know, if you want to change it back to where it was, you know, you get it way out there and it's rotated and scaled all weird. You know, it's like, oh, that's not where I want it. You should be able to go up here, reset it, and it just zeroes it all back to the defaults.